back for its third year on the 17th to the 20th of July at the beautiful Leigh Farm, Chirk Airfield. We've got some incredible speakers, fantastic stalls and healing workshops and bags of fun for the children. Come and join the tribe. Tickets are available now. Head over to www.weekendtruthfestival.co.uk. We can't wait to see you there.
Clock, clock. Wake up your mind. Move. Fill up your day. Oink, oink, oink. Smart little bites that brighten your way. You're listening to Food for Thought Radio. Here at FFTradio.com. Clock, move, oink. Food for Thought Radio. Here at FFTradio.com. Clock, move, wake.
No, order, sit and leave.
This is the best political satire broadcast in the universe.
Order! I say to the honourable gentleman, give me this.
You are listening to Fockham Hall with Eric von Essex.
Good evening, or welcome to another exciting show. And we haven't been on air for a long time. It must be at least 24 hours. And tonight's show, we have our special guest. It's Paul, because the other Paul isn't on. So good evening, Paul. He's Holylandradio, our Transport Minister. So evening, mate. How you going?
Good evening,
I haven't spoken to you for a long time. And
how's things going?
Mustn't grumble.
You okay?
You know?
Well?
Yes. It's my electric bike. Yes, I've got it all ready now because it's a DIY one, and I just I started it up, and it sort of blew a fuse. So I think I know what the problem is. The rating wasn't very high, so I got to buy a more powerful fuse. So there we go. So there it is.
Anyway,
Anyway,
doing 80 miles an hour on this thing then. Are you going to be doing 80 miles an hour down the road on this?
I would take 0 off the end of that and say 8 miles an hour. It's a push bike.
Okay.
Now I converted an old mountain bike, and I got the front wheel electrified and all that. So it's it might take a week to get the smile off my face. We got some really keen guests tonight because we're on a very special subject, which is a very personal subject, and that is the loneliness of wisdom. Because the more wise you become, sometimes the more lonely you become. And the first was Sam. Hello, Sam. And Sam was on at 1939. That was the year World War II started. So there we go. And he's come up with a very good comment, and that is, and that is, it's better to be alone than in bad company. And I'll just show the chat on the side there.
I agree more. That's true. That is very true.
Yes. And I'll try and make that picture in the center a little bit smaller so people can actually see it. So let's have a look. Can I make it smaller? Compact? No, that's it.
That's what she said.
Yes. I think
It
you
didn't
might
take
be
long
able
to
see
move
this
below the
chat.
tone, did it?
I won't read out Embro 4000's comment. He said evening all, but that's you, isn't it?
Who is he?
God, what do you know? Some geezer. And then we got Nuki Brown. Hello, Nuki. Are you spelled Newcy? Are you actually from Newquay, which is spelled differently in Cornwall? And then we've got DJ B2. Hi. Sue Sparkle. And thanks, mate. Sam said sound is good. Thank you very much. That's much appreciated. Pink Planet. Hello, everybody. Very, very nice to welcome you. You live a long way from me, don't you, Pink Planet? She just lives around the corner. And then we got
Can you
Alice
wave at
Gorgeous.
Can you wave at each other out the window?
Coey, not quite. Hello, you lot. And then we got Lorim1234. Hi, everyone. Man with a pan. That's interesting. What's it filled with? Uh, now, Alice Gorgeous says, me and the buds have had withdrawal symptoms. Matilda, hey gang. And there we go. Now, we're going to speak about what is loneliness, because as we were saying, Paul and I were saying before the show started, and we might have other guests rolling up because it's an open mic night. So, there might be other ones from about 9 o'clock onwards. I think we have more methods of communications than any other generation has had. And you think about it, go back 100 years, the only method of communication was it was very expensive to use a telephone in those days. Calls were very prohibitively expensive. Also, the only way you could communicate with someone is with a letter. And you could send a letter in the morning and get a reply by the afternoon. That's how efficient it was, because they had 6 deliveries a day. The postman was always knocking at your door. But that didn't change until the late 60s, when you think about it. And when my parents first got a telephone in the 1960s, we had a party line because there wasn't enough lines to go round. So a party line was you had to share a line with another person, and sometimes you pick the phone up and you hear someone on the phone, and the people where the party line with had their phone to the bed, and when they made the bed, they knocked the phone off the hook. You see, so you might be sitting down and you might well, apparently it didn't happen while I was there, but apparently it was coming from the telephone.
There's a milkman round there.
I think the milkman was round there. Yeah, you could blackmail them. And I was often sent round there to knock on the door and say, "Hey, man, can you put your phone on the hook, please? Because you knocked the phone off." Oh, all right. But anyway, that was with the GPO, but that's all changed now. We've got smartphones. But you're probably a little too young to remember party lines. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound condescending, but do you remember
Yeah,
party lines?
my mum and dad had a phone when we lived in Peterborough back in
Mhm.
1980s,
Oh, they're gone by then.
late 70s, early
Yeah,
80s.
yeah, that was late 60s, they had party lines. And phone calls were still prohibitively expensive in the 1980s, weren't they, really, when you think about it? I mean, now I can phone people for free. You never had that before. And I can actually contact people overseas free of charge. It's all part of the contract. And, oh, by the way, good evening, Mark.
But
As
you
Mark
also
Anthony.
think, do you remember though that when,
Hmm.
good evening,
Yeah.
do you think that, I suppose when when we had phones like the landlines rather than smartphones as we've got now, when you made a phone call to someone to have a talk to them, you wanted to have a talk to them and actually have a conversation with them rather than,
Mm,
I suppose,
that's
with all
right.
this communication we've got now, because it's so convenient just to drop a quick message over to someone saying, you're a tosser or
Mm,
whatever.
yeah.
And that's as far as the conversation goes. It's usually just one line in it. It's a couple of words. Sometimes it's just down to like 2 letters or,
Yeah.
TY or, thank you, whatever. The art of communication seems to be
Well,
lost, I suppose, is probably the right word. And communication is,
mm.
in my opinion, woeful these days compared with how it
I
was.
agree, and the art of letter writing as well. The art of writing has gone. I've noticed a lot of people doing baby
Yeah.
writing now, where I was taught to do. Well, not that old, but I've always wanted to do Victorian script like my grandparents wrote. They were taught how to write properly, but I think that what's actually happened. I mean, let's face it, in the 1980s making a phone call was expensive. You go to, yeah, and often those people didn't have a phone. you'd have to go to a call box, and it was about 20 pence, 30 pence, and you had to gabble out what you had to say before you
Yeah.
got beep, 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 and you had to put more money in the bleeding phone
Yeah.
box, you know.
Pips are gone.
Yeah, oh, bleeding out of pips, you know, and things. So, thing is that it's only in what since the advent of smartphones, which was what year 2000 and something, that we've got free. I mean, if I was to phone you on, I don't know, you're not on Telegram, are you? I don't think. But if I was to phone you, uh,
I am, but
ah,
I'll never really know how to use it, to be honest.
well, it's a bit complicated, but I could. I mean, often speak to Paul when I'm on the phone, and I'm doing a wash up. I'm being on the phone for a couple of hours. Don't give a shit because it doesn't cost me anything and doesn't cost him anything. That's the thing. Patrick's phoned before now. I've spoken to him for a long time. He's in Wisconsin, America. Hasn't cost me anything. I'll phone him once, I think. But going back to what Sam said, and that was that. Let's go right the way back to the beginning. And he said, or Sam said, sorry, Sam, you could be a she or he, I don't know. It's better to be alone than in bad company. And uh, Sue Sparkle said, I agree. I'd rather be alone than with others who are either users or full of their own self-importance. Learnt the hard way. I 100% agree with you, Sue. And
See, I think sometimes being on your own is quite
mm,
good, and it's not a bad thing. And as much as I do like talking to people, obviously we chat, and I'm easy to talk to, and I'll talk to pretty
mm,
much anybody. But I also like my own company.
same here.
So, for example, if I'm traveling on the train somewhere, like when I went down to London last Friday, I book either the very back of the train, so the far
Mm,
as far seat as far as it'll go, or the very front of the train if it's coming the other way. Because for the simple reason that the further forward or further back you are, if that makes sense,
mm.
the less people there are in those carriages.
I'm exactly the
So you get
same.
more of a journey to yourself.
I'm exactly
And
the
it's not
same.
because I'm being antisocial. I mean, if somebody sits by me, I'll probably have a chat with them. But
Mm,
more often than not, they're sitting there with headphones in or sitting
mm.
looking at the phone. You think, I can't be arsed. I'll look out the window and watch the world go by. And sometimes it's just nice being in your own company and enjoying that. To be honest, seeing what's going on around,
Well,
see what trains are about and stuff like that,
that's right.
exciting stuff.
I actually found it a little bit stressful being with lots of people, and I have to sort of get back out of it. And that's what being an introvert is really about, because people don't believe me when I say I'm an introvert. I'm very much an introvert. I mean, I went to a thing in Suffolk to see the bowler hat farmer, and people went there. They didn't even know I was there. I was so quiet. I was just sort of, I mean, that's the thing. And, I think it's an extrovert world. This is the problem. Being an introvert in an extrovert world, and what gets me, I mean, we all go through periods of loneliness. I mean, I always thought that I'd find the girl of my dreams and we'd marry. Never happened. I never did find the girl of my dreams. Still look. I did start, I still carried on looking, but the beginning of this year, I just decided that to give up all hope and just accept it that, I can't
No,
find the right one.
well, never give up hope, but they will come along when they're ready. Yeah, I guess sometimes if you
Mm, that's right.
try and force the situation, then there's more chance if the world works as we think it does, then maybe by forcing it, it moves further away. So
Mm.
by just letting it take its course,
That's exactly what I'm doing. That's the thing. But
well, that's the
I
best way.
don't feel pressured. I don't pressurize it myself. I'm thinking, oh, I'm on my own. No, 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 no. If I'm on my own and that's it, I mean, I'm often on days on my own. Don't see a soul. Doesn't really bother me now, because I'm always busy. That's the most important thing, is to keep busy, keep active all the time. And now, Scooby D2, that's a nice name, isn't it? Scooby D2. Evening, wisdom is thrown into jail. It rots in a cell, misguided as hell, with no one to pick up the trail. Political world, Robert Zimmerman. Really? Well, not many people know that. This is, Now, Sue Sparkle said, loneliness can be wonderful and give you time to find yourself. Yes, yes. I think there's difference between being lonely and alone. Because when you're alone, you you have to make an effort to do things. But there is advantages. There's advantages, disadvantages. When you're alone, you become very selfish because you're the only person you think of. So I eat exactly what I want, when I want, how I want, go to bed when I want. It's it's there are advantages and disadvantages.
I
That's the
suppose
but the
one of the
word.
biggest disadvantages is sometimes the voices in your head can take over, and
Mm,
this might surprise you and the audience that I hadn't until last week. I hadn't been out on the trains or the buses for weeks because I'd lost my
bloody hell.
enthusiasm for it.
Mm,
And I used to go every week without fail, and I started convincing myself not to go and do that and go and do my because I use the market in Shrewsbury on a Saturday,
mm,
as it's only open on a Saturday, as it were. So I was doing that instead. But having been out last week, I've realised the importance of that, how important it is to start going back out and doing what I love
mm,
doing. Because now I
yeah,
don't feel tired all the time. We were saying about you were saying the same as me that you're having a
yeah,
kip of an afternoon, you're feeling shattered, and
that's right.
you weren't actually being able to. You were feeling tired all the time, and I was doing the same.
Mm,
But last week when I was off and out and about travelling, I felt a lot better for it. So I've realised now the importance of it. Even sometimes the weather can put me off if it's crap and grey and raining. You think I can't be arsed, but it's the wrong
I
attitude.
agree.
It's got to maybe that's a demon, and maybe it's one that needs to piss off, basically.
Well, I know it's a demon. Going on slightly off an angle because I'm going to get Jerry Mawinski, if I pronounce his name right. I have a real big problem with getting Jerry Mawinski back on with Helen, and what we were saying about how if you come up against demons, how they can leave stuff on you, which gets you kind of attract the things you don't want. So, there's several ways of sending them packing. I sent my one packing, and this was about 4 or 5 years ago, and it didn't want to go. I can tell you that, but it finally did go, and I felt a completely different person. I felt a lot better because of it. But that's the thing. It's that you can then have what I'll call a residue, where you're not demonically possessed, but something in there gets a kind of attraction. All I was attracting was boozers and alcoholics. I don't have that now, thankfully. But what was it about alcoholism that the people just what was it? I don't know. I mean, I'm sort of semi teetotal myself, but
But then I suppose they
uh,
say opposites attract. If that's the case,
I don't believe that actually. I don't believe opposites attract. They say they do, but if you don't live with each other and you very rarely see each other, you probably do attract. But to live with a person, I mean,
yeah. Oh,
I
because
was
they
listening.
look at the oh, thank God he's gone home.
Well, who was that chap who? I can't think of his name. The chap who believes there was a advanced civilization 10,000 or 400 years ago. Hancock. I can't think his first name. But he's very happily married, and he said him and his wife, the longest they've ever been apart, I think it was 3 days. It was really painful. He said, they're always together. My parents were the same. They were always together. Whenever they did anything, they were just never apart. There's what one's interest was, the other one's interest was, and that's it. That is a fantastic relationship where you can have that. That's one that I would be looking for.
But then I suppose if you're constantly together, would you then miss your own time and your own space? So sometimes it's
Mm.
nice being with someone who loves you for who they accept you for who you are and loves you for who
Mm.
you are. But still, sometimes you need that time to yourself and to be you. I suppose
Oh, I
you
agree
would be
with you.
you even if you're in a relationship.
Yeah, but no, in the same
Sometimes you
house.
need that time away to do your own thing. and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, when I say constantly together, I mean, my dad, he spent hours in the shed and things like that, and doing his own thing like that. They weren't in the same room together all the time. They did their own thing like that. My mum would be busy cooking. She played the organ. She was an electronic organ. I know I hate electronic organs. Yeah, she's a very good pianist. She played by ear. It made a bleeding earache. It didn't do bong bong, but
Everyone should be better use the fingers.
oh, there's something about electronic organs from the 1960s that I detest, and 70s. Is it always say, this is the banjo, and listen, this is the piano accordion. Ah, but now,
But it's fake sound, isn't it?
yeah,
Whereas a proper piano or piano, I was saying yesterday about the amount of stations now that have got a piano
hmm,
that the general public can go and play. And to be fair to the people who can play them, they're really very skilled. I
yeah,
mean, I wouldn't know where to start, but it's such a lovely sound, and
hmm,
it needs to be more in more places, in more towns and
I
cities, and
100% agree with you.
just-
But there is one electric organ though that I do like is the Hammond sound. That was worlds apart. The groups used to use that, and there's a group called Focus, show me age now. They used to play the Hammond. And it's sort of just a different sound. But talking about post, DJ B2 said now after privatisation they deliver the mail twice a week if you're lucky. Yeah, they store it up.
yeah.
My letterbox says like diarrhea coming through. You don't have anything for the next couple of days. You know, I mean, it's just,
Well, the thing is, and I don't know if it's the same with your Royal Mail depot, but here where I am, you'll get if I order a model train, for
yeah,
example, it'll be a couple of days before it gets here, but then they'll send you a message to say we'll deliver it between 9:30 and 12. So you'd stay in between 9:30 and 12, and then 12 gets here, and they say it'll be delivered by 6:30 in the evening. Think, well, why don't you just say we'll deliver it today, some point,
yeah. Oh,
rather than giving a schedule they're never going to match.
I tell you what I've noticed, and it's not Amazon, it's eBay. Now I like eBay, I prefer eBay. I don't use Amazon hardly at all. And I found on a couple of things, you would order something and you think, what was it now? I can't remember. I think it's mundane things like fuses or something for my uh, for my car or something like that. And it was I ordered it on the Wednesday and it's or Tuesday I think it was, and it says arrive by Wednesday, Friday. Friday comes and goes. I think, should be here. Then you look and they've ordered the bloody date to the Friday afterwards and things like that. Because what these companies are doing, they're ordering stuff in from China, wait until they come, and then changing the date, and then it comes later. And I've had that quite a lot. Not always, but I've had other things where I've ordered it one day and it's come arrived the next day. Absolutely fantastic. So just depends. But now where have we got? Oh, Graham Hancock, that's it. And now Mike Mantis says Graham Hancock, who according to Wikipedia is a white supremacist who has Sri Lankan wife. Yes, it's rather interesting, that, isn't it? Yeah, he's supposed to be a racist as well, and his wife is from Sri Lanka. So there we go.
Right, okay.
But Exo
I
says,
noticed there was a question earlier on in capitals as well.
is there? Hang on,
I
I'll
don't
have
know
a
what
quick
that was.
look. Well, let's have a quick shift here. I might have missed it. Alice Gorgeous says Hammond a Go Go. That's in capitals. Yes. And but there was the here it is. Here it is from Sue Sparkle. By the way, quickly about electronic organs of the 1970s. Why was it there was electronic organ grin and everybody who played them would go, it's sort of all screwed up. Yeah, but now talking about demons, Chris, why do I always attract people with problems? Join the club. Used to until about 3 years ago. And I've told people this before, but anybody that's just tuned in, I was just had enough. And not only that, I was having, I suppose, a bit of a breakdown at the time. And I went along to the Spiritist church. And I'm not religious. And I had healers and it's the most incredible experience. I can't remember, it's 2 or 3 healers just they don't touch you. You can actually feel this like vibration. It's like a buzzing sensation.
Yeah.
And when I walked out, I mean, I was on top of the world, and whatever was in me uh, took it was quite aggressive when it went, but it went. It legged it. It just got out of me, and I've never felt so good. I felt fantastic, and I can't thank those people
The question
enough.
I was going to,
Yeah, sorry, you're going to say,
well,
mate?
one question I'd pose to Sue is Sue an empath? Because sometimes
Mm.
there may be a reason why people or you attract people with problems. Maybe they're trying to use you to heal them, and I don't mean
Sure.
use you as in trying to use you, as in as an I'm an empath and I take on people's feelings,
Same here.
which helps them
Yeah.
feel better, I guess. So maybe in that respect, it's not a negative thing; it's a positive thing that they're obviously depends on what the problems are.
Mm.
Obviously, but then yeah,
But sometimes,
maybe they're trying to be healed.
sometimes though, they use and abuse you. So they use your empath
Yeah, I don't agree with that
nature,
at all. That's
and then they use it to their advantage and destroy you. And I've had that loads of times, you know. So that is the trouble with and I think this. I don't want to depress everybody, but I think it's more difficult now to find a soulmate, for the word, for want of a better word, than it's ever been in the history of humanity. I really do believe that, even though we've got more methods of communication. I mean,
yeah,
when you look back, I mean, my granddad met his future missus. She was the girl almost next door. She used to live round the corner to him, and he used to be on a diversion to work so he could sort of say hello to her. And he suffered like myself from chronic shyness. And my grandmother said that she felt sorry for him because he was so shy. But she said, you know, there was this golden spark there. So, and when you hear of that my granddad's generation, they met their people didn't really. Um, it wasn't an I want a materialistic world. They look more for the person than the materialism. And that was the trouble. That was a good thing, really, in many ways. They didn't expect much out of life either. Everything was, you know, a day trip to, I don't know, a couple of miles up the road would have been absolutely fantastic for them. You know, they would have been incredible, like going off to a foreign country. So, you know,
yeah.
I think that we have, uh, if we went back in time, we would be in their point of view, we would be living like millionaires. Even the poor amongst us would be living like millionaires. You know, um, but
The thing is, I suppose with all the technology and all the bits and pieces we've got, are we happier now? Are people happier now than they were 100 years ago? I'd probably say probably not, to be
I
honest.
agree with you. I
I
don't think
mean,
they were.
does that phone bring anybody happiness and joy?
Hmm.
You never really see people happy when they're scrolling around on the phones, do you? But of course, the scrolling on the phones then stops people chatting to each other. Like, I
Hmm.
mean, years ago, you'd sit and have a chat with somebody on a bus or a train or down the pub or even just walking down the
Yeah.
street. You'd have a quick catch up with one of your neighbours you hadn't seen for a while. But now everyone's looking down. They never sort of lift their eyes up. They never
No.
make or very little contact with anybody else around them. It's whatever the parasites have done. They've done a good job of effectively separating us all, if that makes sense. I mean, we can
Mm.
be sat by sort of, or you can be in a carriage of 25 or 50 people or 100 people, and not one of them speaks to anybody else. They've done a
Oh
brilliant
yeah,
job in that
they
respect.
they have. Pink Planet has come up with a brilliant one here. She says, when you are on a low vibration, you attract others on a low vibration. If in an attitude of gratitude and enjoy it, sorry, in an attitude of gratitude, that rhymes in an attitude of gratitude, and enjoy each day, you will attract positive vibes. I agree with you. Yes, negative does attract, like attracts like. Negative attracts negative, positive attracts positive. And I went into that quite deeply some time ago. And it is a very, and what was it? Alice Gould just says, shit job, Pink. hey ho. But I think that anyway, we've got lots of people and Graham Hancock. Hatchy Hatchy, yes, that's how. And Heritage Get Booked says Tony Hancock. No, he was different, wasn't he? And now, Blue Ray says, I always attracted narcs. No more, no more. Laugh, laugh out loud. Um, and Exo says, sheds are a great getaway location. Yes. Yes. I mean, when I'm in my shed, it's like going on holiday. I love being in. I mean, I was in my other shed today, um, trying to find out why my electric bike won't, that I made hasn't worked. And that's the reason why I've blown a bleeding fuse. The fuse wasn't high enough. Stupid boy. And now, this is very true. Scooby Dito says the old adage is true. You're never more lonely than when in a crowd. Um, Now, this is a
Yeah,
strange
yeah, yeah.
thing. We all go. I mean, when I was young, I was exceptionally lonely, and the advice, and it really got up my hooter. Join a club. Hate clubs. I loathe clubs. They're just not me because you get a clubby type of person go along who's sort of obsessed with following someone or being something. It's full of sort of order givers and takers, and uh, and being rather as like yourself an empath, just not my scene at all. I mean, the only reason I went along to a truth group is because I felt so isolated during the lockdown, or soon after the lockdown, to be more correct. That's the only reason. And my gut feeling all the time was saying, don't, because I think we've got a wise owl on our shoulders. But clubs, as I say, they attract a clubby type. I've got nothing against clubs. I just don't want to be anywhere near them. I mean, what's your feeling about clubs, Paul? Are you in? I'm certainly not into them.
Uh, I would say the only good thing with clubs is you can smack somebody with them. Sorry, it wasn't that type of club, was it? So I've obviously mistook that. I've never really been part of a club in that respect.
Yeah.
I guess, likewise, like I've said, I like doing my own thing. I
Same
like
here.
people's company. I like chatting, and yeah, if there was somebody out there, I'd happily find them.
Yes.
But I like my own company, and I always
Righto.
have done.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I guess, from the anorak side of things, where if you're traveling out with somebody else who likes the same hobbies,
Hmm.
but they want to do different things. So, like for example, I like taking pictures for the most
Hmm.
part of whatever transport it is. You'll get other people, other mates who want to ride on
Hmm.
trains, and to me, yes, I don't mind doing that, but I wouldn't want to spend all day doing it.
Yeah.
And then you get the issue then of, well, who gives who's you have to then compromise, which sometimes doesn't work. So if I go out for a date, like when I went down to London on Friday, I plan where I'm going to be. So where the sun will be, I'll plan my day around that so they
Hmm.
get the best photographs. But of
Good
course,
idea.
if you're traveling with somebody else who's doing something different or wants to do something different,
Hmm.
that tends to go all tits up, and then you get a lot of crappy pictures. You think, well, this is a waste of time. So somebody gets a good day out
Yeah.
of it, and somebody else doesn't. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
So if you're on your own, you can please yourself, and
Oh,
if you've
that's
cocked up,
right.
then it's your own fault.
Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to share things like beautiful sunset or sunrise, things like that. And I mean, often cycle through the Lee Valley, and it's just beautiful. All you hear is the birds singing, and there's no one around, and you cycle along. And as I've often said, there's been Bigfoot sightings there. So if I saw Bigfoot, I'd have to say, "Oh, hang on, I'll just get my camera out. Hold on, get my rucksack off. Hold it there, hold it there." But nobody would believe me. I saw Bigfoot. Did you really? Yes. Now, as someone really taking the piss, there's Mike Mantley says, I think you should get an electronic organ, Eric, and start the show off with a rendition of Happy Days Are Here Again. That would be groovy. No.
Hey, actually, I agree, Mark Anthony, on that
Yeah,
because you could get one of them electronic organs that's got a different type of. So one day it's an organ, the next day it's a trumpet, the next day it's
yes,
you. You could have a different instrument every day, every time
yeah.
we come on here. It'd be
I
brilliant.
can adapt the smile, so yeah. But did I ever tell you about my
Just
parents?
don't come on and saying. Just don't come on air and say I'm playing with my organ because that might be offensive.
Well, I think I've said this on a previous show. My parents are obsessed with electronic organs, and oh, that's why I can't stand them. Not my parents, I mean electronic organs. And they're talking about things like, was it the Leslie speaker, the Super Wow Wow, and all these bleeding crappy sounds. And it was like my uncles were trying to outdo each other with, I mean, my parents as well. Oh, we got a Hammond Mark Watson. Oh, I've got a Lowry and all this sort of crap. Anyway, my dad used to buy organ records. How nice. And there's a television. This is when the days when you only had, I think it was two or three television channels. And there was a program that night I was really looking forward to, and that was about Bigfoot. Seriously, funny enough, was it Sasquatch out in Tibet? It's called something else there, isn't it? The Vulnerable Snowman. That's it. I couldn't wait. Guess what? My dad had brought a electronic organ record on over, and of course you couldn't see the television until the electronic organ record was heard. I was thinking, oh bloody hell! And it was a long player, so I, I actually accidentally, purposely moved the switch over to 45 speed instead of 33. You see, so this organ record went all the way through the first one. My mother said, "Oh, it sounds a bit fast." I said, "Oh no, he's a marvelous player. It's the super wow that he's using and all these bleeding technical terms about electronic organs." And went through the first side. I thought, 10 minutes to go to the show program starting. And I put the television on, and halfway through the second side, they tumbled it, and I had to listen to the whole bleeding thing again. And by the time it had finished, I put the television on, and it was the end of the program. I missed it, and I've looked on YouTube; it's not on there. So and when I went to school, the next day, all the kids had seen it. And you seen it? Oh, so luckily a mate of mine explained it to me, but it wasn't the same. It's just one of those things. But why we had to listen to that bloody thing that at that time, that was typically my parents, and you had to learn self control and sit there. And, I was just looking at the television, looking at the clock all the time. But now we got here. Now Sue Sparkle says, "Yes, I am an empath. Yes." And I'll punch you on the nose
That could
if
be
you
one, and maybe
if you
that's
say I'm
why.
not. No, I'm only joking. Yeah, sorry, he's going to say Paul. Sorry.
That could be why you attract people who've got problems. It
Yeah,
could be that, like I say, it could be their way of channeling
but
their problems away.
um,
It's
I
possible.
I think, but you get a certain type being attracted. Now, I believe that the person that brought the demon into my household um, was there's a difference between an alcoholic and a boozer. An alcoholic is, when they, excuse my language, pissed. But a boozer is very, very different. Um, and that is, hang on, what's going on here? That's it. But a boozer is dangerous because a boozer can knock back pints and God knows what of alcohol, and they're never drunk. And Richard Burton was like that, apparently. He could drink and drink and drink, and he was never drunk. And he was, I mean, if he actually stopped drinking, it made him ill because his body got so used to it. And I think that this particular thing, I think the person that brought the demon into my family was a boozer who could drink loads and loads and loads of alcohol. And that was a
Yeah.
kind of boozer demon that came in. Although none of us, of my family, were boozers. We never drunk. My dad was completely teetotal, and I'm semi sort of teetotal. And all I was attracting was alcoholics and boozers. That's all I was getting all the time, and it got on my nerves so much. I was thinking, what is it? What is it? And and that is, I actually put it down to that. And I mean, I'm writing a book about sort of what happens with this demon thing. And I wrote it 18 years ago, but I was so stressed out. My mind was not in the same sort of, was in a good place then, that I've decided to rewrite it, and I'm hoping to publish it next year. Because rewriting it, now my mind's in a nicer place. I could see how stressed I was, and that, as I say, that came over. And Matilda Warrior says to Sue Sparkle, it's because you're a nice, decent person. That's right. Um, Now, Blue Ray says empaths are known to attract narcs. Yes. And Sue Sparkle says, um, I will go to the spiritual church with my friend as she is a regular. Thank you. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I mean, it depends on the healer, but I know they have to go on these long courses to learn how to be healers. It's not something that can just sort of come along and bullshit with. They really are trained on what they're doing. And it was where I went, they didn't charge. And you just put how much, you put money in the plate as you leave. And just, it's very discreet. It's not sort of in your face. You just put money down what you think that their service was worth. And they worked on me. And I could feel this, whatever it was, coming out of me afterwards. It got it out. He didn't want it, and my life changed. It was quite surprised. But so I hope I wish you luck when you go along there, because I mean, I haven't been back since, which is a bit rude, but it's something that's, at the time, that was the right thing to do at the right time, and I was advised to go along there, and it did the trick, you know. Um, but now what was narcs, that narcissist, that's it. Yes,
Yeah,
with an empath, you do attract narcissists. Yes, um, uh, you're like a bleeding magnet to them. But again, I've learned how to deal with that. And now I've got my sort of weirdo ometer, a narcissist ometer. So I don't sort of come near me while they used to, but they still take
well,
advantage of me because I'm so easygoing
mine tend,
with them,
I don't tend to attract specific people, but a lot of the time
Mm,
at the moment, I'm attracting people who just want to have a chat and talk
mm,
about what's going on in the world and things like that. And I've said many times that I talk to a lot of people, and people talk to me, and quite often I've,
mm,
I've got a T-shirt with the British Rail logo on, and sometimes that's enough to get a spark and a conversation going. And but then,
mm.
but then
Oh, that's
I come
nice.
out and I come into my own. I guess I'm not
Yeah,
I'm not two different personalities. I'm who I am. And
yeah,
but like for example, if
yeah.
there's a
But
situation with people trying to travel somewhere, I can step out of that and out of that the wanting
mm,
to be on my own and actually go and help someone. If someone's trying to get somewhere, I'll help them and point
yeah.
them in the right direction and so on. Apart from some dickhead at Kings Norton last week who couldn't seem to work out how to use a footbridge and how to use a train timetable really, but and I got called a prick on the back of it even though I'd helped him. So
Oh, yeah,
you
they
can't
do
always
that.
attract good people.
I mean, if you're easygoing or placid, I was saying placid, that people will metaphorically crap on you. And I mean, I've had this loads of times, and I have to hold back now, try not to be helpful because people will abuse that sort of. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
give you a hand here. I'll give you that, and they'll take advantage of you. I mean, I'm the sort of like the local DIY bloke. So if they lock themselves out of their house, I'll get bang, 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 bang on the door. Oh, can you get me into my house? And oh, can you do this? Can you do that? Oh, one of my pipes is blown. Oh, can you do this and do that? And this is why I've got so many bikes because they pay me not because I don't I feel awkward accepting money, so they pay me things like bikes. Or anything like that. Oh, would you like this? Like a pot plant? I think, all right, thank you. So I've got loads of pot plants and bikes. There's something about bikes and pot plants that I think I like. I don't know what it is, but anyway, I'm not complaining.
Do you
Long
find
story
sometimes that when I mean again, sorry, a lot of my experiences are train related. I came back from Stafford one day, and some, again, I'll use the word dickhead, was vaping across from me on the same
Mm.
train. And I'm always polite with people. I just said, "Can I ask you not to vape on board, please?" And you find that sometimes how they react completely out of proportion to what you've asked them. If I'd gone into his face and said,
Mm.
"Stop vaping," or else, that's obviously threatening behaviour. But it wasn't. It was applied. Can you not smoke? Can you not smoke on here, please?
Mm.
I think this guy was effing and blinding at me, and I thought, well, I asked you politely, just not to vape. It's not a lot to ask.
I know
So
what you mean.
he
I mean,
carried on being
yeah,
a complete knob. So when I got off at Wolverhampton, I went and had a word with the guard. I said, "He's vaping down the front of the train." I said, "Can you go and have a word with him?" Oh, so I'll go and kick him off. Have that.
excellent, excellent. That's what I like to hear. I mean, I've never forgotten this, and this was years ago when I was a teenager, and as me and some friends, we were sitting in a wimpy bar. They're still around, wimpy bars, and that was when people could smoke, and people smoking that. But wimpies used to be quite good actually. And there was a
Bloody
fella.
expensive though.
eh, Sorry,
They were bloody expensive though.
wimpies, yeah, there were. But there's this fella with his sort of, I can explain it. His arse was on the edge of the seat, and he was sort of down, and he was reading the bottom of a newspaper. So from the back, it looked like as if he was like a midget, a short bloke. You see. And there was a time when there's like a Teddy Boy revival, and he's sort of the grease back there, walking in, and there's about 5 of them, and this bloke grabs this bloke's paper and walks off with it. You see, and sits down, all going like this, and suddenly this bloke stood up. He was huge, absolutely huge. I mean, giant haystacks. He's like him,
Yeah.
And he was obviously a lorry driver. And he calmly walked up to this teddy boy bloke, grabbed hold of him, pulled him round into like a corridor bit, and he was on tiptoes. This bloke, he's lifting him up by his jacket. He got his newspaper, didn't say a word, and just said, "Why don't you be a good boy and sit down quietly and eat your din-dins?" And then pushed him back into the seat and walked back with his newspaper quietly. And I've never seen 5 blokes eat their dinner so quick off, But amazing. Why don't you be a good boy and sit down and eat quietly and eat your din-dins? But I mean, this fella was terrified, absolutely terrified. I mean, with one hand, he was holding this kid up. Well, you say kid, he's only about, I don't know, 16 or 17 or something like that. But then he was on his toes with his crepe shoes and all that. So, and it's like, mummy. But no, it's. I think that now what was it? Oh, it's Barefoot Foreigner. Barefoot Foreigner. I'm sorry if I'm missing out anybody in chat, but do apologise. Please don't take it personally. We have to learn to shield our energy. I agree, and avoid dark triad tetrad. If I got that correct, I said that correctly. We can't keep blaming the vampires for feeding on us. Yes, but it takes a long time to learn that. I think this is why I've said loneliness of wisdom, because the more wise you become, the more you avoid these things. But then it becomes harder to find someone because you've stepped on all the landmines, most of the landmines, verbal landmines on Earth, and that's it. And of course, you become set in your own ways in many ways.
Sometimes
Um,
that's difficult to break as well. Although I guess
hmm,
anybody who, if somebody loves you for who you are, then they should accept you for who you are,
hmm.
and obviously
Well,
what makes you you in the first place. If
that's
that
right.
makes sense.
Well, I had a girl that fell
Nobody
madly
should
in
be
love
expected
with.
to change who they are to suit somebody else.
Hmm.
You should, if you love that person, you should accept them for who they are.
Well, as I say, I met a girl who fell madly in love with my bank balance, and wanted to drain it, which she did to try. But you do find there's that type as well, and it's difficult for both men and women because once you get to a certain age, you become, shall we say, not only certain, you become an easy target in many ways because they, you know. Now, Pink Planet says, we are living in the best time. We have choice, have so many opportunities. That's been like that on trains for years. People not talking. Yes, I suppose you've got a point there. Hang on.
It seems to be more
Is that?
prominent now, though. I suppose if you looked at if back in the day with the commuters, they'd all have a newspaper and not speak to each other. But I used to find that
Hmm.
the general,
That's a good point there.
the
Yeah, people used to
non-commuters,
be noses in newspapers.
the people who generally travel for leisure, should we say, if that's what,
Hmm.
or they go into a particular location for whatever they're doing. A lot of people would tend to sit and have a chinwag, and no, not everyone, obviously, but I think more
Yeah.
so now. It's definitely more people are gazing on phones than ever. I'm not sure how humanity would cope if they suddenly said we're banning all phones, because I'm not sure many people would cope with that now.
Hmm. They wouldn't. And it was only a short time ago when you think about it. We didn't have mobile phones before the year 2000. I mean, they only came
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
about, what, 1990s, didn't they? I think, or
Yeah.
maybe a bit before. I don't know.
Well, I
But
was looking at
Blue.
I posted one of my pictures from Watford Junction in 1998,
Mhm.
and there wasn't a
Yeah.
single mobile phone on with anybody in this picture. Not one. You
Hmm.
think how quick it's changed from that. I know it's 30 years, but it's still a short period of time. It's amazing how quickly it
It
has,
is.
how quickly it's come in
But,
and it's changed.
well, my phone when I go out is off. I switch it off when I go out. It's with me, but it's off because, well, I mean, Trump doesn't phone when I'm out normally. I know, and he wakes me up in the morning asking advice. I piss off and slam phone down. No, I'm only joking. If you believe that, you believe anything. And
I believe that.
now, now it's part Blue Racers. It's part of the journey of the empath to develop better boundaries. Here we go. Now, Alice Gorgeous says, "I've been single for a long time. I'm bringing my children up, then I may have a little look, see about." Well, I actually, many years ago, which, and it was, I actually couldn't understand why my friends were finding their ladies of their choice and marrying and being happy ever after, and I was going to their weddings totally on me Todd, and and thinking, well, what is it? What is it about me? So I actually looked at the problem from a kind of mathematical point of view. And when I was going to work in the mornings, because I had quite a long train ride, I used to sort of sit down and do all these like weird calculations. This sounds bonkers. Thinking, well, why is it? Because looking at the law of probability, because I don't know if you've heard of the law of probability. Is it probable? What is it that where is it the type of person I'm looking for? I'm in the right place at the wrong time, the wrong place at the right time. You know what I mean? I'm never in the right place at the right time. You see, and I watched it, and I can't remember what it was, but it's something like I had 1 in 520,000th possibility of meeting the right girl. I think it's a phenomenal. And I thought it really gave me bloody depression. So I did the calculations again. It was something like, I think it's 1 in 500,000 or something like that. I can't remember. I'll have to look up my notes. 1 in 500,000. And I was thinking,
But do you ever get
that's
a
strange,
powerful
And
connection with someone? Sorry, Chris, I talked over you. Sorry.
no, so no, you didn't. That's okay. I have had, yes, yes.
I mentioned when you
And
had
you,
Greg on, and remember, Greg,
mm,
uh, and I was talking about that woman I was talking to
Greg.
on the train down to Milton Keynes, and I felt a massive connection with her.
Hmm.
That sounds wrong in every way. I mean,
Yeah.
as in a connection, as in one person to another, not in any other way. And
Mm,
it was just a very powerful experience. I still remember that to this day. Where
mm.
she was with a bloke, and this
Oh yeah.
bloke just walked off down the train. and left me talking to her, which was maybe he was glad to get rid of her for an hour. I don't know, but I'd like to think not.
I don't know.
But I seem to be giving her the
Well,
support that her husband should have been giving her.
well, I mean, I worked with a girl. She was very attractive, stunningly attractive, and we got on really well. And then, unfortunately, I found out she's a lesbian. So she sort of liked me as a sort of, but she wasn't interested in blokes. You see, so, but she wasn't the, she wasn't the masculine. She was really feminine, But I was a bit sad. Yes, I have actually. Yeah.
Could have offered to go and join in.
Yeah. Yes, I have actually.
That's lowered the tone again, isn't it? It's about
It
every
has,
40
isn't it?
minutes at the moment. This is...
Well, I did actually, really did speak to somebody we had a lot in common, and a heck of a lot, but we had to split up because of health problems. Her husband would have killed me. So, that's true, actually. No, actually, she there's a girl that I used to know. She was deaf, and but she used to lip
Say again?
read, and yeah, oh yeah, and we got on like a house on fire. We really did communicate, and she admitted to me that she'd married the wrong one. She married when she was very young. She married the wrong one, and yeah, we got on fine. And often think about her, that if she hadn't have married young, she'd have been my ideal. We just connected. There's something about it, but it wasn't to be.
But then what if she was your ideal? If she was with the wrong individual in the first place. So there's so many things that come into play here, isn't there? I mean, I remember my mum or my nan always saying, "There's always somebody out there for everyone." And you think, well,
I agree.
but is that the case? I mean, if there's, I don't know, let's say if there's 20 million blokes and 10 million women, then that obviously doesn't work out, does it?
No, you got a good point. But there was more women than
And
men
if
because
I live in the UK and my other half potential lives in New Zealand, the chance of us ever meeting is very slim.
well, that's right. I mean, but after the First World War, men had it. They were in whoopee because there was a huge shortage of men. And that's why women used to dance together at dance halls. A bloke going into the dance hall, bloody hell, he'd probably get raped. I mean,
But Elton
there's
John
loads
is
of
one
women.
short of men.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, but no, there was a shortage of men, manpower, and in Russia, there still is a shortage of men apparently. So I bought my ticket, so I'm going. But mind you, at my age, a woman's I would say to a woman, your teeth are like the stars; they come out every night.
Well, my question to Alice Gorgeous then is she happy as she is now? I guess that's the.
Well, I
Just,
say,
I guess
now giving up hope, I'm happy because it's stressful
exactly
thinking.
that's.
Well, I might. So now giving up hope, I'm very happy. So, but now, Blu-ray says BF versus Biff. It's part of the journey and a blessing as the empath gas has to learn from the narcissist. That's interesting. I'm trying to think of that one through. Now, this is interesting. I wish I had pondering wisdom like her. Oh well. Kingston Whitler says,
Does that mean the person, the individual in the picture?
yes, yes. She's rather like my type. I quite fancy her in the picture, but she could be around about my age as well. Yeah. I wonder what she's doing next week.
Probably still
Does she
sitting there
like push
looking out of
bikes?
that window. I would say,
Yes.
in fact, judging by the buildings across the way there, she might be something like the Czech Republic.
She might be, yes. Does she like fart jokes? You got to ask her these important questions. Fart jokes, smut. What else?
Well,
And I
I
promise not
suppose
to
you
do
could
my
start that question
impersonation
off
of a
and say, well,
teapot.
if you let a squeaker out there, would she laugh at it or not? Then you'd know, wouldn't you?
uh, now, Kingston Whitler said, I find wherever I've worked, some people will immediately think it's okay to be rude to me. I found the same. I found exactly the same, Kingston Whitler. I seem to attract psychos and they attack. Yes, I agree. If I deserve it, I'd be the first to admit it. Yes, I 100% agree. Yes, I do. And also after you've helped them a lot. I mean, there's one particular neighbour who I've helped a heck of a lot. And I've got them out of trouble. You know, they knocked at me at the unearthly hours, knocked on my door at unearthly hours, saying, "Oh, I've locked myself out," and all kinds of things like that. And then the person
You've got them
just
broken in.
sort of, yeah, but my dad used to be a locksmith. You see, so, seriously.
Oh,
And,
right. Not a professional
and
burglar or anything like that.
no, professional burglar, but there's certain locks which they've got which are easy to get through. And he showed me a few of the ropes, so that's how I learned. But no, he wasn't a professional burglar. But if you've got a bump key and you've got a yellow lock, it's not anybody can, and you can make your own bump key, so they're not that it's not that difficult. Um, if the what lock is well worn, then it's easier. Um, now, Pink Planet says if you have a hobby, you can meet people. So worth horses. I have horsey friends. There's Miniature Railway Club, Broxburn. That is lovely, and they all get together. What, horses and railways? I didn't think they went together. I mean, poor horse. I mean, do they? How do they feel about the horses getting together with the railways? I can't see the link there. I'm joking. Uh,
Well, I think our railway club's got a sleeper cell.
Our one
Sorry
just
about
lost. I just lost steam. You know, just sorry. No. Now Exo says that's because most workplaces are full of idiots. Yes,
That's true.
yes,
Yes,
and
that's very true.
oh yeah. I mean, if you're a bit sort of placid, they will pick. You'll be picked on. You're easy target. You know. Um, Now, Matilda says, I have no interest in clubs. Joined a gym, but it's too peoply. Yes, yes. I've got this
Well,
problem with
again,
crowds
gyms.
as well. It's what you're
Well,
going to say,
gyms are
mate.
one
Yeah.
of those things where you've either got people who go there who, because they enjoy going, or you get the people who go there to be what's the word I'm looking for? It was on the tip of my tongue and I can't think what it's called. But they want to pose, where they spend more time looking in the mirror at themselves than actually doing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
So look at my apps and all this. And quite honestly, most of those people are just
that's
like
exactly
blown
what they
up.
do.
Yeah. You know, all this. Jobsworth. Jobsworth is perhaps the best English concept ever created. Yes. Think so, yes. Now, oh, poor sod, Mike Mantis, is he admitting it? Well, are you sure you want to admit this, Mike? He says, I learnt to play Timey Kangaroo Down on a stylophone. Oh my God. Really? Yes, Rolf Harris. That's what yes. And
I'd give that up and start playing with me didgeridoo. To be honest,
how did a man who did exactly the same act for about 40 or 50 years survive in the show business? I just didn't know. He never changed his act, did he? It's all the same. Oh, well, hang on. He did this thing with pets, didn't he? Oh, this poor little fella. Oh, he's been in, you know. But,
yeah, but Animal Hospital. But
yeah.
they probably took the person's dog or cat and then went and cooked it for him later.
Well, why is it? What is it that people in nice places? I mean, I worked with an Australian who had this fantastic house just outside Sydney, you know, be near the coast, that was on stilts that looked out over the sea. It was idyllic. And him and his Sheila, they sold it to buy a 2-bedroom flat in Earls Court. I mean, we had to say when I worked, have you had a history of mental illness? I mean, moving from there to Earls Court. Ugh.
But then, I suppose you could see that in a potentially different way. In that we've been talking about loneliness. Maybe they were lonely and they wanted to be part of a much busier place. I mean, maybe Earl's Court or London might not be their first choice. I'm sure they could have chosen Perth or Sydney or Brisbane or somewhere else. But then
Mm.
I suppose Earl's Court doesn't have dangerous spiders that might bite you on the arse and kill you in 10 seconds. So I suppose
No,
there's positives and there's very
I
much
suppose there
positives
is.
available there, I guess.
But somewhere. I mean, Australia, not all of it. Some of it. I mean, I work with Australia. I'm from Tassie, and he says bloody weather's just like it, just like Tassie, because Tasmania is quite a bit away from Australia, and the Australians take the wee out of Tassies because the weather conditions are very very similar to this country. you know, and he wasn't that impressed with this country. He says, "Oh, it's a bleeding shithole here, isn't it?" And he said, "Why do you, what was it?" He says, "Why do you Poms drink warm beer? Where do you stand for it?" So, now, there's a question for you from EXO. He says, where is it? He says, Kings Norton, is there still a 1970s style cinema there, Anorak? I don't know. Do you know?
I can't say I've noticed that. I've spent a bit of time in Kings Norton taking pictures. Obviously, you've got Cottridge just up the road from the station's borderline Kings Norton Cottridge. But I don't remember
Mhm.
a cinema being there. There's a nice butcher's in Cottridge, and then if you go down the hill the other way, you've got the lovely
Mm.
KFC and shit like that. Yeah, Cottridge itself is all right, but
Mm.
there's nowhere. I wouldn't say there's
Yeah.
anywhere in Birmingham I'd actually say is all right, but no, I don't recognise the cinema. No, definitely not.
Mm.
Whereabouts
Yes,
was it?
Brummy.
But
He said Kings Norton. So, don't know. Kings
depends on where.
Norton.
If it was
I
the
thought Kings Norton was down
hmm,
my neck of the woods. Kings Norton, isn't that sort of Berkshire or somewhere? I don't know. Is it? I don't know.
no, that's Kings Langley. I think you're
Driven
thinking
through it.
of.
Oh, yeah, I've driven
Kings
through
Langley.
there. Yeah,
That's
because
Watford way.
yeah, Watford. I spent a month of Sundays trying to get off their bleeding bypass. It's a horrible place, Watford. I don't like it.
Watford
Sorry,
is a
anybody in Watford.
strange town.
It's a shithole.
It is a very
You can't
strange
park
town,
anywhere.
Watford. It's
Yeah.
the railway stations are miles from the town, and when you actually get into the town, you think, well, I don't know why I bothered walking that because it's a shithole.
Hmm.
But it used to have
Well, yeah, that's right.
used to be
Well,
a terminus of the was it Broad Street they used to go into from Watford, but it wasn't Watford Junction. They used to travel in from
hmm.
Croxley and Watford on the DC lines back in the day. And the DC lines
Well,
are still there, but they go us to Watford Junction now rather than where they used to.
but i- isn't it a bit off-putting when you get off the train and there's a sign up says terminal? You think, bloody hell, I'm going to be here for the rest of my life, and
Well, no, well,
and
that's something I've been thinking about with regards to the wording as well. Why is a
mm,
railway station or why does a train terminate? Because to terminate
yes,
something is
it's a
to
good point.
end a life, isn't it?
Why does cargo go by ship and shipment go by car? Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's weird, isn't it? Cargo goes by ship, and yeah.
And I mean,
Sue Sparkle says, "Thanks,
planes have
Chris."
you have
Mm,
you get on a plane at a terminal,
yeah,
but you
that's
don't
right.
get on a bus
Yes.
at a terminal. Although you do actually, I suppose you do get a bus terminus. I suppose.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, what's
Intriguing
happened to
to know
Hertford
what
bus
passenger means
station?
as well.
No, Hertford station is about a third of the size it used to be. Don't know why. It used to have a huge Hertford bus terminal. Now it's a fraction of the size. Weird, and it's full of
Well, they've done
pigeons
what most
crapping
do,
all over
cut
the
all the
place.
services, haven't they? They've cut
Yeah.
services left, right, and centre. And I was talking to somebody at work today. We were talking about the local rail network that before beaching came along, and you could
Mm.
get anywhere by rail.
Oh, that's right.
If they
Beaching,
really
beaching
gave a
the
shit
bastard.
about climate, then they'd have kept them open. But
Well,
I'd rather see them use the HS2 money for that than on HS2. Let's put it that way.
well, there's a place not far from where I live where they tore the rail tracks up, and you can still walk along there as a path. And there's like the buildings they've remained there. That you know, and it was it's sad. I mean, in Japan they run their railways even though they make a loss because they know it's part of the infrastructure of the country. So the
Yeah, yeah.
government keeps it going, and that's very sad. Thanks, Chris. My friend keeps asking me to go. This is to the Spiritist Church, I guess. With us, with her, she goes most weeks, and she is a very calming. She is a very calming influence when I'm with her. I'm not one for groups. Same here. My ex-husband was a narcissist. Was narcissistic. Yes, yes, that's the trouble. And narcissists are very skillful at drawing you in and drawing you in and drawing you in. And this is why boozers are very dangerous. Boozers themselves are nice people, but it's a demon that's within them that is doing the nasty stuff. That's the problem, you know.
Yeah.
Now, Barefoot Foreign. Oh, by the way, Exo says maybe I'm getting confused with that place in between Longbridge and Bromsgrove, starting with an L with an R.
Rubery.
Mm,
Possibly
Rubbish.
Rubery.
Rubbish
I've been
is
at.
another word for
I
getting.
did get on a bus in Rubery once, and some bloke, the West Midlands bus
Yeah.
was renowned for having the cash pot. So you drop the money in the pot, and then told the driver how much was there. And some bloke got on in front of me, and he dropped the money in the pot, and the driver said, "Well, I don't count it as you chuck it in there." He said, "You need to tell me where you're going." I thought, that's a pretty good answer because he's right.
Yeah. Well, that's
I
right.
wonder if he
Yes.
means Rubery.
But no, the funny when you take a short cut through Hertford bus garage, you sometimes see a person on a bus, but the buses around here are empty. It's hardly put it on them. Because I think London buses they're mobile lavatories, aren't they? Because they always smell a piss when they get them in here. Excuse my
They're
language.
always busy. That's the thing.
Hmm,
The amount of people that use them. I said yesterday I was down in Brixton
hmm,
on Friday just gone, and it's always busy there. The amount of
hmm.
traffic and buses and stuff that go through there, but the buses are absolutely heaving down there all the time.
Right.
It's so they are well used. It's
Oh, are you
But then of
ever
course you got a mayor of London who actually encourages them to use it because the fares are cheap or cheapish.
well? Are you ever bothered about not getting back? You know, if you're not, have you ever been caught out and not been able to get back to your home, or had to sort of find a hotel or something, or
No, although I did have. I said to you yesterday off air about the not so much. I've never had an issue where I can't get home because
Mm.
if they decide to stop running the trains, the train operating companies have a duty of care to get you home.
Ah,
But I do have an issue with how the railways do. Like the excuse on all last week was extreme weather. Well, it's called summer, so
yeah.
be it. And as I said to you the day that I got back to Euston to come home, and Avanti were doing their usual thing by running late, which because of the weather.
Mm.
I boarded my train, and then they kicked about 2 minutes before departure. They came and kicked everybody off and said there's no crew available. And then they put us all onto another train, which was heaving, and that train did depart. But the
Mhm.
train that we'd been kicked off of, where they said they got no crew, pulled alongside us at Birmingham New Street with crew on board. So they ran that train empty,
Mm.
whilst this train that I was on was absolutely rammed. It's
Well,
things like that.
yeah. But also, they used to have standby crews just in case something, and the standby train,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
went wrong. So nothing went wrong.
The only pla
And yeah, sorry, carry on, mate.
the only place where there's two places where things went wrong. One was one will make you laugh, and one was in the Czech Republic, where because I used to get the metro back from the main station to Kodov, and this one night I came back and somebody had jumped in front of one of the metro trains along the line, so they closed the line down, and this was 8:30 at night,
Mm.
and I knew there was a bus that used to go from Masari Cova, I think it was, or one is Smichov, Praha Smichov, back to Kodov. So I thought I'll get the train back out there and just check. Got there and I'd missed the last bus by half an hour. And at that point I was a bit panicky, thinking, shit, I don't know what's wrong, I'm going to get back home here.
Mm.
And then I went back into Prague Central Station and whatever they'd done, they cleared the body up, dropped off at McDonald's or whatever they'd done, and the metro was open. But the other time, and this will make you laugh, me and a mate, we went over to Austria, and we got a few hours to kill before we came back on the plane, and we boarded a train at wasn't Linz, one of the next stations down. I can't remember what the station was called. And we got in the back half of this train, thinking it was all going up to Salzburg, but it turned out they actually split the train, and we were in the half that wasn't going to Salzburg. So we
Oh,
had to bail
bloody
off at some
hell.
random station. We had literally minutes to get back to through the city of Salzburg and out to the airport. It was only British tourists could do that. Get on the wrong half of the train.
Yes. Well, because I used to, was it is the front or rear? There's certain things they say about trains that they split trains like that in Liverpool Street Station, and
Yes.
half of it goes. But anyway, Barefoot Foreigner says I manifested my ideal man, but did so incredibly angrily. I know this doesn't exist, but there's 3 pages of exact demands. He's very, very, very nice. That's nice, isn't it? But no, this there's a bloke on YouTube. He's dead now, but he shows you how you can manifest things. Um, some people can, some people can't. I think it depends on how your mind works, how you manifest things. There's certain techniques that I think you've got to learn for yourself. And but I can't think of his name now, but he wrote a book about it. A very interesting character, but again, and you got to be careful what you wish for, because sometimes it might take things literally.
Yes.
Now, what we got here? Hachi Hachi says he's been single for 5 years. My buds, it's always finding a doggy girly up the park. He's terrible. Hey, what? Who? But sorry, not talking about dogging, are
Doggy
we?
girly.
Doggy girly, yes. But well, I'm not a doggy person, so I mean, all I have is a bleeding pigeon that visits my garden, and but
Pigeons are
we
cute.
we got a very good. Yeah, I mean, I feed the pigeons, and him and his family shit all over my neighbour's car. So
That's
it works very
fair
well.
compromise, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good
Pigeons are
deal, that is. And
pigeons are brilliant.
oh
They're
yeah,
great to watch.
yeah, they are. And I've secretly said, do not shit on my washing. And I've so far, touch wood, I've never had a bird shit on my washing. So I think they're quite intelligent. I think they know, you know. But now what we got here? And what we got here? Jollyman says more vapors than smokers now. Another useless idea. Yes, that's killing people.
It is,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
And of course, with the
Now,
in the satanic world, they look like dragons when they're breathing out smoke,
oh
which I think
crumbs,
isn't.
yeah.
I don't believe that's by accident.
Well, I was walking behind someone the other day, and they was puffing away at some bleeding vape thing. I had this smell of sort of chemical strawberry wafting my face. It's horrible. Um,
Well,
uh,
the heating element turns some of the chemicals to formaldehyde, which is a toxin basically.
mm,
And you notice that sometimes that when people who vape a lot, that their faces are red, where they've blown the vape out and it's hit them back in the face. It's burnt the skin. They're bloody dangerous things.
yeah,
Smoking normal is far better than. There's a reason why
yeah.
vaping is out there, and it's especially attracted to young people. So there has to be an agenda behind it, and it's not about
Well,
health.
there's
Let's
got
put
to
it that
be.
way.
Well, I mean, I've never smoked and I've never really drunk. But I mean, I might have the occasional. Well, it's not Guinness; it's something from the Aldi's equivalent, which is far superior to Guinness, on a very, very hot day. But that's about it. About 2 or 3 cans a year, if that. Now, Barefoot Foreigner says, I personally think that prostitution undermines a happy and healthy society. Mouse utopia. Yes. And well, do you know Venice?
Yeah.
They managed to get prostitution off the streets there. Sorry, think about it.
No,
You got to
right,
think
no
that.
problem.
You got to think that one through.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. But no.
I
I
thought you
mean,
said Vienna initially, but yeah, Venice. Yeah.
yes, I know these prostitutes have a hard day at the office. Sorry, at the. but
I guess
no.
I guess that sort of job has its ups and downs, though, doesn't it?
It does. Hang on. No, it's too filthy. I can't crack the prostitute guy. No, I can't crack it. I'd be banned from YouTube if I did. It's absolute. It's one of my uncle's old ones. It's absolutely
They get you
foul.
hooker, line, and sinker.
Oh. uh, no, it's about Muffin the Mule. That was a little puppet of a donkey for children in the 1950s. But no, I can't say this one. It is absolutely bloody foul.
Hey, you teased us with this now. It's no, obviously it's
I'll just try if
don't
I
get
can
yourself
clean.
banned, obviously.
Hang on, I'll clean it up. I think I can clean it up. I mean, the one he used to come out
Type
with
it
was
in chat.
no, it'd be too long. It was it? Do you think Muffin the Mule? Because there was, but you can look out on YouTube. Muffin the Mule should be a banned sexual offence, And but the one he said, yeah, I'll clean this up. A young innocent lad comes down to Soho, you see, in London, which was notorious for prostitution at one time, and he's walking around and he meets this girl. She says, "Well, do you want to have some fun?" He's a bit of a simpleton, you see. He said, "Oh, yeah, I like to have some fun. Oh, why? What, are you going to go to the cinema or play drafts?" No, different type of fun. Oh, what kind of fun? Well, come with me and I'll show you. See, anyway, they have a naughty night together, and he wakes up next morning. She says, "Okay, that'll be £100. Have I got to pay you?" She said, "Oh, yes." He said, "Well, I ain't got £100." He said, "But all I got is my grandfather's pocket watch. That's worth about £100." He said, "Well, I'll have that." Okay. So she takes that. Anyway, later on the day, she's going to see one of her clients and she gets onto a London bus and a ticket inspector gets on and he's looking around and she's fumbling, trying to find, whether she's got her tickets and that. It's a few years old, this joke. And suddenly she drops a pocket watch on the floor and the ticket inspector goes with his bleeding grey foot and said straight on it. And the moral of this story is when you for time, don't rely on London Transport or Transport for London. Sorry. But yes, it doesn't quite work because you don't have ticket inspectors anymore, do you? And you don't have tickets. So there we go.
No.
No. But I rapidly cleaned that one up. He's bleeding foul. Now where are we? Now, Mike Mantis. All brothels locally all get shut down, but funny enough, the gay sauna in nearby town never does. Funny that, isn't it? Yeah. Hmm. That's interesting. Two Irishmen open a pub. No one drinks in it. And his mate says, "Why don't you go to Dublin to find out, how the pubs draw people in there?" And his mate disappears for a couple of days. He comes back. He says, "Mick," he says, "I've got the answer to the problem." He said, "What's that?" He says, "We'll open a brothel." His mate says, "Don't be stupid. If the people won't drink beer, how do you expect them to drink broth?" So there we go.
God.
They get worse, don't they? They really do. But as I say, that prostitute was very clear. I got through that. It was I heard the original. Now, someone asked, how did Mike know that about the solder? And he said, because it's still open, everyone knows about it locally. Um, Now, that was a famous Daily Mirror. I think it was Daily Mirror, might have been another newspaper headline in the 1950s. I actually bought a book about famous headlines, such as Monty flies back to front, and they said, "What is it? Strip shows judges to act." That was a headline.
Well, I suppose with what Mike Mantis was saying, I suppose the brothel, I suppose people are going through the front door, whereas the gay sauna they're going through the back door, wouldn't they? So they might not be seen.
A rear entrance. Uh, uh, Now, hang on a minute. We got Richard. We got a question here in block capitals. Paul and Eric, do you think this is Richard Doe Blake TV? Here we are. Ricardo Blake TV. Paul and Eric, do you think we are jumping in to another timeline now CERN has been shut down? More lighter now. I'm not as stressed as when I was. And are you guys feeling the same? Yeah, I'm not as stressed as I used to be.
Yeah,
What about yourself?
I feel. I said to you about on when I was down in London on Friday that when I was in the centre of London, I felt my head felt really heavy. But when I went out to Brixton, where it was surrounded by old world buildings, it felt a lot different. But yeah, I think the timeline's changed anyway. I think it's been changing for a while.
Hmm.
Hence the all the mechanical clocks that are stopped everywhere. I don't know if you've noticed on the one in uh, Waltham Cross where that's
Waltham Abbey?
been
No, Waltham Abbey, actually.
stopped. Waltham Abbey, yeah, sorry, yeah.
I don't know. Do you know?
But yeah, I know.
I'll have to take a note and look at that, because I've been saying for a long time that I want to go along to Waltham Abbey and film. And what gets me on YouTube, you get loads of these geezers coming along, shoving cameras up people's noses and irritating them. But I asked the bloke
Yeah,
who's, I don't know what you call him when you walk in the churches and that, very nice person. I said, look, um, I'll be as discreet as possible. Is it okay to film in here? He said, yeah, of course you can. That's what I like. I said, well, I won't upset people. I just won't, and so I'm hoping to go along there one Wednesday and film around the Abbey. I've been studying a long time, but I haven't got to it yet. But because, somewhat, when it's hot weather, I cycle then. I can't carry my camera gear on my bike. And then when it's cold and wet, I drive there. And they don't really want to take photos when it's cold and wet. So I'm going to have to make a compromise somewhere. But yeah, there's
but
something. I
then
mean,
sometimes
yeah.
uh, as a
Yeah, sorry.
photographer, sometimes and I know I'm probably bit of a hypocrite here because every time it pisses down, I don't go out. But sometimes the best pictures you get is when you do have the crappy weather. And one of my what I classify as probably one of my best photographs and one of my favourite pictures was of a Voyager train at Leamington Spa in an absolutely heaving down shower. You could see the water, the raindrops bouncing off the platform. It's
Mm.
by far one of my favourite photographs, and it was in
Really?
shitty weather basically. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to
I'll,
film
I'll
my.
drop that onto you over there at some point.
Well, I'm planning filming from. Well, it'd be from my car, so it'd be from the car through the little gardens there, and then into the Abbey, and then walking from the Abbey, which is just around the corner to Miles's place. And so, "Oh, hello." But now, but regarding becoming calmer, I think that to you've got to be at peace with yourself to find the right person in many ways, and understand yourself to find the right person. And it takes people a long time to do that. It took me a long time, and to just be relaxed. I mean, I was a nervous wreck. I was stressed right out, and about 3 years ago, I changed my diet to this uh, diet where I only have one meal a day now, one meal and a snack, and I feel great on it. Keto diet, and since I've been on a keto diet, I lost 1.5 stone in 2 weeks. So that's a lot, but no, I felt really good. because it's
Well, something,
all
something.
protein. Yeah, sorry, mate.
Well, sometimes it's also about boosting your confidence as well, and I don't mean that in a big-headed way. I mean, actually,
I
one
know
of
what
the
you
things
mean.
that's come about with being awake is I've learned to stand up for myself, and
Mm,
and where it's needed, I will not defend myself as in fighting. I mean, I'll defend myself as in I'll use my
mm,
voice to get things sorted out. Like I think I said to you a while back, I had some dickhead at Waterloo station. I was taking some pictures at the
mm,
station, and this Jobsworth came down, and I knew what he was going to come and do.
mm.
He came down to me, he said, "You can't take pictures." I said, "I can. It's a
It's
public
public
space.
area. Mm,
Usual rigmarole that you get from these idiots."
mm,
And he wouldn't leave me alone. He kept saying, "You can't take pictures." I said, "I can." He said, We need you to come and sign." I said, "It'll take me longer to come and sign than it will be to get on this next train out of it, which is what I'm going to do anyway." And then his supervisor,
mm.
I said, "You'll have to get your supervisor down here." And this supervisor came down and he said, "You photographing trains?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Carry on." He said, "It's not a problem." I said, "Well, you
Excellent.
need to teach him.
Yeah,
You need to teach him then." And sometimes,
yeah.
if that had been 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I'd have just shied away and said, "Okay, I'll put my camera away." But you have to stand up
Mm.
for yourself, and that
I
comes with a
agree with
bit of
you.
confidence.
These little
And I
jobs
think,
worth. Yeah.
and dare I say that the likes of your show have helped boost my confidence to be able to go and
Oh, it's very
stand. I
kind.
mean,
Thank you very
I do
much.
stand up for myself now, and I don't take any
Hmm.
shit, should we say? But not, and I'm not not a
Hmm.
violent. I'm not. I don't mean in a violent way. I'm not violent in any way, shape, or form. But But I'll use my voice to stand up for myself, and I have done many a time, many occasions.
Well, what comes with age, I think, this is one good thing about getting older, is you can get away with a lot more. You can say a lot more people, but I think that diet is very important in mind because I used to suffer from chronic depression. I was a nervous wreck, and my diet has completely changed that. It doesn't fully gone, but it is 1,000 times better than it was. And I mean, I was taking St John's Wort tablets like they're going out of fashion to sort of calm me down and that. But no, diet does make a big difference in your life. And a high protein diet is it suits me. It might not suit everybody. So there we go.
Do you find things
Now,
like
the Jollyman.
meditation
Mhm.
or doing slow breathing and things like that help
Mm,
you keep your
yeah.
nerves? I
Um,
find that's
yes.
quite powerful at times.
Well, I'm always making and designing things, so I go into like a deep meditation with that because I think that I mean, from my career, what I was doing in architecture, you had to sort of think 3D and turn things around in your head and work things out, and I still do that all the time now. And I mean, I've been building this bike up from almost scratch. When I say scratch, I bought the front wheel motor and then I'm supplying batteries myself and wiring it all up myself. So it's taken a bit of time, but I've got batteries that are about a fraction of the price of the ones you buy off the shelf. So being a tight-fisted git, I'm converting this bike over. But so there we go. Isn't that boring? Yes. Now,
No,
Jollyman says,
not
is
at all.
taking the dog out code for dogging? I don't know. But there was a couple around the corner from me dogging a couple of years ago, and that was in full view under some trees. Good morning, morning. Nice out, isn't it? Yes, I'll put it away if I was you. Now, Mark Anstey says, I've noticed it in my work canteen over the last 5 years. I used to be buzzing with groups of people having a chat and a laugh. Now it's silent, and most people gazing at phones and not talking. Yes, I agree with you. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Now, Blue Ray said, Ricardo, I felt this last week and for a while for what it's worth. Yes, that's right. More sort of, hey, lay back. Um, and Pink Planet says, yes, Ricardo, I have felt lighter. I thought it was just me deciding to be happy. I think there has been a shift. Yes, I think there has.
yeah.
Um,
Something's changed.
Now, something definitely has changed. And Now, when did they shut CERN down, Ricardo? And that's Pink Planet's answer. I don't know. I don't think it. Now, and Blu-ray says
Of course,
we're, we're moving to a timeline now. There's a question for you,
bring it
Paul, in
on.
a moment. I'll just read Barefoot Foreigners. I listen a lot to sexologists. Do you remember Dr. Ruth? And actually, the best thing, these agony aunts, it should be. I've got 3 answers to all the questions, because I actually think a lot of those people that phone in, and I won't tell you about the one with the Alsatian that I heard for phone in because I said it too many times. But I think they've always got the same answers. It's I'd see your doctor about that, or that's perfectly natural, or it's perfectly okay as long as you warm the custard first. That's the 3 answers you see that you should give. That's you pick them at random. So remember to call warm the custard at first, and give it to someone afterwards you don't like. Now I listen a lot to sexologists, and one of the things that they highlight is how many people are deluded about the fact that they deserve someone much, much more attractive than they are. Weird. Yes. Well, I always attract women that look like Quasimodo. Hello. They sort of are. They're very polite though. They ask whether they should take their teeth out before they kiss me or not. Right. I'm only joking. For any ex-girlfriends listening in, cute. Quiet question for Paul. This is Kingston Whitler. Please explain the psyche of those who sit on the aisle seat and put their bags, etc., on the window seat, even on a packed train. Yeah, I don't understand that. You understand that?
I guess,
Because they don't want someone sitting next to them.
dare I say, one of the one of the possibilities is they're an introvert. They might not want somebody sat by them. Although I always sit on the window seat and put my bag on the seat next to me.
So do I.
But not because I don't want somebody sat next to me, but just see if, people can speak and say, "Can I sit there?" Or I'll move my bag, and sometimes I'll move my bag and put it on the table, and people just keep walking past. I think, well, okay, screw you, then I'll just put my bag back there. Then, yeah, I don't know.
I'll do that.
What I don't understand is when you get people who sit on the outside seat and just leave the inside seat with nothing on it. I don't get that. And especially when, like you say, when there's people stood up, that's annoying.
Yes.
But
Well,
then maybe they should put more carriages on.
yes, but when I used to travel to London, you got very experienced at what carriages to go on. I mean, little tip, I don't know if they still have this. They had a carriage that half of it was first class and other half was second class. Jump on that carriage because people think it's all first class and it isn't, and it's usually empty. So that's a little tip. And
That's one of the tricks with these the IETs they use with Avanti. So you get the Pendolino trains, which is all one 12, 10 coach, 11 coach train. But the IETs are each set is 5 coaches, but they might use them operate them as 10. But because many train passengers are thick, and I don't mean that across the board, but a lot of them are, they always get on one door. So if you've got two sets of 5 coupled together, they can't get from the back 5 to the front 5. So you'll find the back 5 are wedged, but the front half's empty.
yes,
Little top tip there for when
top
you're using
tips.
trains. No,
Yeah. Good point. And was it? Sorry, Hereditous Get Fucked says, "Love kills." Does it really? Yes. And Pink Planet says, "Plenty of fish in the sea." Yes, that's what my mother used to say. Was it? There's plenty of fish in the sea. Yes, but who wants to have a relationship with a fish? I never quite got that one. But yes, and I think also singles nights and dating agencies are a question of if you throw enough mud at the wall, some of it will stick. But it's like a meat market, and no.
And again, why is it called a date? Because obviously a date is a date in a calendar.
That's right. And well, I had a date this morning.
when you meet
I
someone, is that it?
I had 3 dates, and they're very
Can you be
tasty as
choked up
well.
then?
Bought them from Great Tree, yeah. So there we go. Yes, and I don't get any. So there we are. Um, I've now Matilda says, I've heard you. I've heard you have several soulmates. It's merely about timing when you meet them. Sometimes meet them at the wrong time. Yeah. I suppose so.
See, I suppose a bit like, and there's not much of a link here, but it's a bit like the numerology and seeing the
Hmm.
numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
Certain numbers turn up at certain times, so it's possible that it works in the same way with finding your true love, as it were. They
Yeah.
turn up
It
when they're
might be.
ready.
Well, do you know how my granddad on my father's side met his future wife? He was a greengrocer, and he threw a rotten tomato. I don't know if it's someone. Anyway, he threw this rotten tomato in the market, and it hit this woman. Bang! And that woman that he hit with the rotten tomato turned out to be his future wife. He went over to her, and they got
Wow,
talking, and he was wiping her down, and he apologised that he hit her by mistake, and they got talking and talking and talking, and they fell for each other. So that's it. But with my dad and my mum,
interesting.
it was love at first sight. They just fell for each other. Amazing. And but
I guess unlike vampires where it's love at first bite.
yes. Although you could say that was in bad taste. Sorry, but there we go. Now, Sam says social dynamics between men and women are black pilling. Hmm. Now, Mike Mantis says, according to an ex-nuclear physicist, CERN et al. Is complete. So there we go. Yes, and there was actually a scientist that she's moved to America now. But she was very interesting. She reckons that she was being targeted or something. Yeah, 007, I think her name
Well,
was.
the logo for CERN is 666.
Really?
If you have a look at the logo for CERN, it's 666.
Hmm. Now, Jollyman
A bit
said,
like Google.
that's right. Now, Jollyman says, no, wonder why YouTube blocked the original comment. Personally, don't agree with what it is for him. More of a find a good partner to trust person. Yes, I've found YouTube are doing that. It's nothing to do with me. So please, people say, oh, I'll put this comment in, it's God's taken out. I don't take comments out. It's YouTube that do it. I don't know why. Uh, now, he said, I know, what
See,
is it?
look,
Eric
look,
says, I know Eric chose that picture for a reason. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, you're going to say, mate. Yeah.
so, I was gonna say, so what's more important though? Is it love or is it trust? Because I would say that trust is probably one of the most important things with whoever you're with. Trust should be.
Hmm.
I think trust is one of the more important things. I suppose with trust, then comes love. Just a random thought.
Uh, you, you're, you're,
Add on
you're,
to
you're
that.
you're right. But the thing is, I think it's what I call it's the chemistry. There's something you just can't explain. I mean, between Anne and myself, we just hit it off. We used to actually we would speak and finish each other's sentences off because we almost were in sort of telepathy. It's most peculiar. But as I say, she married and the wrong one. But she had 2 daughters, so she couldn't just sort of walk away from him. She's very loyal. But we,
It doesn't mean she's
you know,
happy though, does it?
no, but I don't split families up, and we agreed. We won't go into there. Sorry, but no, yeah, I really fell. I think we really fell for each other. Imagine being a kid in hospital. Is Mark Anthony in the night? It happened a long time ago, but it still affects me. Imagine being a kid in hospital in the 70s and being told the Jimmy Savile visit has been cancelled, only to hear a didgeridoo coming down the corridor. But when you look at Rolf Harris now, looking back, he wasn't that clever, really.
Well, he's
He was
dead.
just, uh, no, he's dead. Yes, yes. That's rather final.
I'd imagine he's a bit skeleton, a bit thin these days, and lacking meat on the bone, as
We
it
let
were.
himself go.
He probably liked meat on the bone, to be fair.
Was a bloke on YouTube that actually broke into his old house because they can't sell it. And he went in and he's looking around. I think he lived at, was it Kingston upon Thames, something like that. And he found a rubber mask of the face of his wife there. Bit weird. Yeah, but
What he
he was
found?
strange.
He found a mask of the bloke who broke in. His wife was in there. That reminds me
now,
of.
what's this?
You've seen the Naked Gun films, didn't you? Is it the second one or the third
Yes.
one where Frank puts his hands into this bloke's pockets and it's actually his sergeant's pockets, and he says, "He's got a picture of your wife." You son of a bitch! And punches him on the knee.
Oh, I used to like those Naked Gun things. He was brilliant at that. But Mike Magnus has come out. By the way, Ashley says, anyone got a Jim will fix it badge? No, I don't think. I don't think.
No.
I think if you did have a Jim will fix it badge, you wouldn't actually admit it. Now there's a good one here. An Irish working men's club went on a mystery tour. Why isn't that showing up in the? Hang on. Right, that should show at the bottom, but it hasn't. Come on. Oh well, that's life. An Irish working men's club went on a mystery tour. They all had a bet on where they were going, and the driver won £100. Sorry. Now, Exo says, absolutely, Anorak. We already have a bus replacement service, but in this part of West Yorkshire. But then on top in recent years, you're lucky where I live. I think you get about 1 hour, one bus every hour and a half or something. Ridiculous,
So, see, is
Now,
where you are? Is it is it a village or is it a town?
Suburb, sort of leafy, very leafy, sort of. Well, it used to be
Do you
covered
get
surrounded
do you
by
get Red
fields.
London
It was
buses
part of
in
the
there?
countryside. No,
I'd say you don't get Red
no,
London buses
they're
in there.
all either. No, they're all
Yeah, so
rival or whatever it is. And
So
used to be Green
yeah,
Line,
so they're
but that's all gone now, isn't it?
Green Line. Yeah.
Yes, but no, it's a terrible service. It really is,
Which again, if they
uh,
believed in climate
apparent.
change, which I know it's all bullshit, but you'd think they'd be trying to get more people on. They'd be trying to get more bus services out there and get more people on board, but they're not interested, are they? Let's be honest, because they know it's all bollocks.
Well, that's right. It is a load of bullshit. It really is. Now, where are we now? Hang on. Kingston Whitler says, here in Kingston, the bus station is always heaving, and the bus is full. Plus, we have night buses running from Trafalgar Square.
Yeah.
Well, buses stop running at 7 o'clock where I live. And, yeah.
But of course, the
Excellent. Don't read this out, Eric. Yeah, sorry.
London Transport as a whole is operated by under a mayor, and every bus route is on a contract, as it were. So every route is up for renewal every 5 years, 6 years, something like that. So it constantly keeps new vehicles going around on every route, which is what they're trying now in Birmingham.
Well,
same thing.
Well, I had to go down sort of to the suburbs of Enfield the other week to B&Q because I had a £20 gift token, and they were the only ones that sold what I was looking for. And I decided to go by bus because my Toyota's not ULEZ compatible. I think I was working on my other car. Anyway, I can't remember. I went down there, and one well, it took a month of Sundays by bleeding bus, but it got me thoroughly depressed. But I really, I find, I don't know, I just get a little bit stressed out on buses and think, come on, move, stop stopping for picking people up, you know. Now,
See, no, I don't
EXO,
mind
I
that. It's
won't read
quite.
this out. Uh, yeah, really? Yeah.
I think it's sometimes quite chilled out and just sit there and
Hmm.
people watch and enjoy the journey, and it's each their own, and
I
it's
go on
just
top. I go on top of the bus because it's nice to sort of look down and sort of you get better views. But now don't read any of this out, Eric. No, I won't. I won't. EXO. He said I'm waffling and cooking beans on toast, so I won't read that out. Oh shit! I just have. Oops.
is it a bubble bath
Uh,
tomorrow then, EXO?
yes. Um, I heard the bowler hat farmer talking about manifesting on the Nathan Lucius Last Revolution podcast recently. Really? So he's been manifesting, you know. So nothing like a quick manifestation. That's very interesting.
Isn't that what
Um,
Keir Starmer likes to manifest, doesn't he, or something to that effect?
well, actually, if you wanted proof that aliens come from outer space, Keir Starmer will be it. Really, he looks like an alien, doesn't he? From the planet Plop or
Not as bad as
whatever.
Mark
Yeah, sort of.
Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg,
Oh bloody hell!
he's more alien than he is
Yes, he
whatever
is,
he
isn't
might
he?
what human.
He's
Yeah,
he's not quite and also I think that who's that other geezer that does electric cars? Tesla
Elon Musk.
geezer. I can't. Yeah, what name? Elon Musk. Funny name. He looks spaced out most of the time. Someone's just took a cucumber up my arse, and that's why I stand like looking like this. That's what he looks like.
Because it could be MK Ultra. It could be mind control. It's possible.
That is possible. Yes. Um,
But yeah,
now
Zuckerberg. In
where are
fact,
we?
is Zuckerberg even still alive? Because he doesn't seem to be getting mentioned anymore on anything.
No, strange, isn't it? Um, now, Now, Jollyman's answered a question. At Pink Planet says, we have bees in our end stable, and the bees are still going to and fro now at 9:30. That's interesting. And
Is anybody also noticing?
Jollyman's,
Are you noticing that it's
mm,
staying? I know we've just gone past the longest day, but I
yeah,
don't ever remember it being still really well lit at 11 o'clock at night. I mean, even in the middle of June,
yeah,
it'd be pretty much dark by about 10:15. But now
mm.
it's light and it can still be light. I mean, we finish on here sometimes at 11 or 11 o'clock, and it's still really bright outside, which seems a bit. I don't remember it ever being like that. I
I
remember
know.
it
Weird, isn't it?
on the longest day. It'd even be 10 o'clock and it'd be dark.
Yeah, it's strange. And well, this heat wave we've had for a couple of days, I do like the heat, but bloody hell, I've had some pretty bad nights waking up through the night, because it's so hot and no, I mean, an owl farts outside and that wakes me up. What's that? Because you got to have all the windows open. Um, Now, Jollyman says, to answer the Pink Planet, says bees are amazing. Their body to mass ratio and their wing size apparently impossible to be able to fly. What are they doing? And in a few minutes' time, we're going to be saying goodbye to Food for Thought Radio. So some music will come in when I least expect it.
Usually about five
But
to, isn't it? Is it about 5 to the hour?
yeah, I think it is something like that. Yeah, so it's any minute now.
And of course,
Now, where are
bees
we
use
now?
the hexagon, which is one of the best ways of storing energy. Hexagons and octagons,
Yes.
which is why a lot of the old
Now,
world buildings have octagons at the top of there.
that's interesting. Now, Pink Planet says, Eric, stop going to the church tower. Your girlfriends. Okay. No, I not quite get that one. Perhaps I've yes, must excuse me. I've had sense of humour bypass surgery this afternoon. So, you must stop going up to the church tower. Re your girlfriends. No, Mister. Do you get it? I don't get it.
No, that one might need
Hmm.
explaining a little bit.
Yes, yes. So, oh bloody hell! Mike Mantis says having sex with a fish is soul destroying.
I guess if you get entangled, I guess it would be with a net.
Oh. Now, DJ Vita says this is about my granddad who was pelting tomatoes. Says maybe pelting random women with rotten tomatoes might come back into fashion. Yeah, I don't know whether it's a fashion then when he met my grandmother, no, great grandmother rather. No, hang on, was it my great grand? I don't know. It says, Ashley says, Alice Gorgeous, do you fancy a night in the stocks? I buy a couple of cases of tomatoes. Laugh out loud. But no, seriously though, I think that when you look at the way they destroyed the family unit, the powers that be, I think that's the reason why there's so many single people around that cannot find
Yeah.
the right one. I think we have more choice. Here we come. Here comes the music. Yep.
No, it's be quiet. But I think,
Here it comes.
yeah, family unit's been going on for a long time now, and it becomes once you start and see it, you can't not, and it's everywhere.
Hmm.
It's not just
You're
phones.
right.
It's train layouts. It's everything. They don't want people
Oh, yeah.
talking. They don't want people coming together. Destroying pubs and things like that where people are gonna have a chinwag and things like that.
Hmm.
It's not by accident, but
Yeah.
ultimately we do need to come together and get a bit of unity together.
You have been
I
listening
still think
to
that's
Fockham
one
Hall
of the most
You're
important
right.
with Eric
things.
von Essex. Remember, whatever you do, have a bloody good laugh.
The Glastonbury Symposium
Thank you
Expand
very
Your
much, and good
Horizons
night.
event is one of the UK's longest running conferences on mysteries, ancient and modern, freedom, cover-ups, spirituality
Really?
and more. Join us in person or via live streaming for this year's event, 24th to 26th of July, to experience a life-changing weekend of extraordinary speakers in historic Glastonbury. Tickets and details are all available.
That's it. So, sorry, I thought I took it off too early. Sorry about that. Well, you'll never know what the ticket prices are, but yeah, I'm sure you'll find out. Glastonbury Symposium or whatever you call it. So there we go. Now, where are we? Nathan Lucius, who's come on and he said, in response to Holly's comment earlier about me being her ideal man, she's far too kind, but she is my personal goddess, and she's very lovely. P.S. Holly, that was fun. Oh, isn't that nice? And I've actually met,
Aw.
I've met Holly and I've met Nathan as well. That was around about Christmas time. So, and they're a very nice couple. Yes. Now, Matilda says, love is patient. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love always trusts, never boasts. Now, Alice Gorgeous says, I'm going to be brutally honest. The last relationship I had was abusive in every way. I've stayed single to protect my children. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Alice. And was it the boozy woozies, the terps, But
Makes me wonder why people like that in the
it's a bit
first
like,
place, though, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? You think you've got this lovely person in your life, you'd want to love them and cherish them, and so again, I suppose maybe they're demons, maybe they're not human.
they've been taken over
I don't
by
know.
something. Yeah, because the
Yeah.
booze takes them over. That's the thing. And I mean, I actually dated a boozer once, and she was she would attack you if you. It was like walking on eggshells talking to her. And if you said something that she took offence to, she'd start lashing out at you and then burst into tears and apologise. And she lashed out at me once when I was overtaking a vehicle doing 70 miles an hour. Very dangerous. And I'm trying to sort of stop her punching me whilst I'm steering and trying to keep the car was going all over the place. You know, some people are very dangerous like that. And
Yeah.
she was 100% possessed. And that's what I kept getting, people that were bloody possessed or pissed, excuse my language, you know. And that went on until, well, luckily it went. That was a, whatever it was that was attracting them. So I'm very relieved, you know. And hello, mate. It's Robert. Hello, Robert. Evening, mate. How you going? Yes. Don't tell anybody. Last time I heard, he's single as well. Yes, there's a lot of single people on here, isn't there? Perhaps we should start a dating service. What do you think? You know, fuck 'em
Fuck 'em all
dating.
dating.
I was thinking about that last. Fuck 'em all dating. Yes, that'd be a good one, wouldn't it? But no. But the thing is that I think the films have probably helped a lot with making people discontented because they think everybody is super attractive, but everybody isn't super attractive. I mean, when you see these film stars without their makeup, some of them look bloody awful. They really do. You know, so high.
Well, of course,
But
of course, they also use the big adrenochrome, don't they, and things like that to make themselves look younger.
yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
at the end of the day, I guess ultimately it's personality that comes through more than anything else.
Oh yeah.
If you got somebody
Yeah. I
who's got
mean,
a great personality, that's more important, isn't it?
well, it's
But not
like
somebody who's going to change you.
well, that magician. What's his name? Paul. I can't remember.
McKenna,
He's dead now.
McKenna,
No, the other one.
Daniels,
Say yes, Paul. Thanks, mate.
Paul
Thanks a
Daniels.
million. And it was on Mrs. Whatever it was show. She was talking to his very young wife and said, "What was it that attracted you to millionaire Paul Daniels?" What a lovely question, isn't it? But now Robert said
And
over here in North
she said he
London.
picked me up from school.
Over well on my Telegram channel, I've got a video of a police officer. I think it's AI opening up a time capsule from the 1970s. It's bloody funny and very well done. So you know,
I tell you,
now
it's interesting that comment there about how over here in North London is actually pitch black. There's still quite a lot of light in the
yeah.
sky.
Well, I mean,
It's not that great a distance.
yeah, and yeah, strange, isn't it? Yes. Mind you, have you ever been in the countryside where it is literally pitch black? You literally can't see anything, and when there's no moon. Because when the moon comes out, it's surprising how much you can see. And during World War II, they used to have
Yeah.
a thing called a bomber's moon, and that was where when they went out on bombing attacks, which is not very nice. If it was a full moon, they could see where there was dropping their crap, you know.
Elton John has a similar
Now,
thing.
I reckon his ears are burning now. But have you seen him recently? He looks doesn't look too well, does he?
No, I haven't.
Now, it says, Robert says bees shouldn't be able to fly ergonomically speaking. The vibrations they emit must help keep them aloft. Yes, bees are fascinating. I suppose they're
They're cute
creatures,
as well.
aren't they? I think, and they're not animals, are they? I think. Oh
They're
yes.
cute. I've saved a few
Now,
over the years.
Mike Mantis. Yes, or bees. I have. Yeah, I don't like bees or flies in the windows. My mate met on a night of chucking his kebab at some girls.
What was her name? Donna.
Oh. You said your girlfriends were attractive, like the hatchback at Notre Dame. He lived in a tower.
Ah,
Oh, that's where she's got it
yeah.
from. Yes.
Pennies
Sort of,
drop now.
yes. That's right. Yes. And so, hello, my dear. But no,
Would you like to come and play with my bell?
um, oh, I got it now. Yes. I met Matilda says I met my husband at work. Um, uh, now, uh, Robert says the Kalergi plan is now in full swing and explains the contrived battle of the sexes. I 100% agree with you, Robert. Yeah, 100% agree with you. Yeah. Um, uh, now, Pink Planet says, Robert, that's interesting. Re bees. Really light here, Paul. You're right. Usually light. Yes. Well, I live around the corner to Pink Planet, and it is rather light here as well. Strange.
And again,
Uh,
yeah, that's weird, isn't it? But then you're not far off North London in that
yes.
respect, are you? And Robert was saying it's pitch black. So
No,
it
not
is
that
very
far.
strange at the moment.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
I'm not
fair,
convinced the
fair
sun
distance.
is the original either.
Well, there's something weird happening. I mean, blue sky's not quite blue, and get some funny clouds in the skies that look like vibrations. That's what gives me a bit strange.
Well,
Because when you see old
as a
films,
photographer,
you
I
never
mean,
see vibration clouds.
well, with regards to photography as well,
Hmm.
that what I would take in full sun,
Hmm.
so where you got a full three-quarter, where the subject's in full three-quarter sunlight, I have to really overexpose the pictures now to get them looking correct. So what my camera sees as
Really?
what should be a perfect exposure, they're coming out really, really muddy, even though it's in full sun. Now, I mean, I've been
Hmm.
taking pictures for years, as you know, and I can look back at pictures in 2018, 2017, and I would take them exactly the same exposure then as I do now. If it's full sunshine, the picture I'd take it at some like ISO 400, f1000 at f8. We get it about spot
Mhm.
on. If I do the same now, they come out muddy. They come out really really underexposed, and it's not the camera. It's the light that's
Strange,
around
isn't
us.
it?
It's yeah.
It's, hmm. It's like the photographer. There's a photographers meeting, and this chap said, I was in India. He said, and I was walking down the alleys there, and there's this poor beggar. He was there, and he was on his last. He was starving. He was, he needed water, and so his mate said, "Really?" He said, "What did you give him?" He said, "Oh, time exposure about 500 at f2." Sorry, it's a terrible one. Isn't it? And
You know,
now Robert says,
well,
mm.
my dad gave away two or three pianos in recent times. Apparently, he was an organ donor.
What do you about the Irishman that bought a lady's sanitary product? So that for quite politely, and it said on the box, "Place an organ." He didn't have an organ, so I put it in his piano. There we go. Matilda Warren. This is Robert says, and now people avoid one another at work in fear of human resources. Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, yeah. You're not allowed
Key
to have
says
banter at
Kalergi
work
plan.
anymore.
Oh no! Well, I told time, and this is a long time ago, when we was all having a laugh at each other, and doing the we was goose stepping around the office doing Hitler salutes the lot. There's a German bloke there. We was laughing, and we had a Canadian bloke that had a sense of humour bypass, and was politically correct, and that stopped overnight just because of him you know. But it was really funny because it was at the time when Hello Hello was on television. And we used to go out to this job like, here are the drawings from the heating and ventilating engineer. I'll say this only once, things like that. Now,
We
Yuki
we
Brown
used to
says
have
the Kalergi
we
plan.
had we used to take the piss out of people at work, and one of my managers when
Yeah,
at the previous
it's
place
part
I
of it.
used to work at, I left him a message one day on his notes board saying, "Can you call such and such on such and such number?" And it was a sex line, and he called it up and left his name and address.
Well, there was a bloke, an Indian bloke, and a cracking sense of humour. He was a Sikh, funny enough, and Sikhs are noted in India for not having a sense of humour, but he did. He's born here though, and had a right Cockney accent. And he said, I said, I'm from the land of the what is it? The oh, what's it? Uh, the old boat. What? The putt-putt boat. Putt-putt boat? What do you mean? Bud. Sorry. And he came out with that one, because the Indians like to say, oh, bud. And, we just used to take the piss out of each other, and we used to take the piss out of ourselves. And it's just, that's
Yeah.
life. You take the piss. That's what humour is. Humour is bad taste. As long as you don't upset anybody, and it is, it's not below the belt, and doesn't harm
But
anyone.
people get offended by everything these days.
It is
It
bad
doesn't matter what
taste.
the subject is.
Yeah.
Someone gets offended by it, and
Yeah.
I don't understand. Again, it's probably about
Well,
breaking up the family unit and breaking up the spirit of people themselves, that you
yeah.
can't have a laugh and a joke and stuff anymore. It's sad, really.
Well, I love having. I mean, I don't mind people taking the piss out of my bald head. I'm bald, so let's have a bleeding laugh about it. Here today, hair tomorrow, or something, that sort of thing. But the Kalergi pan. This is Yuki Brown says, how many have heard of it? Not many. And how many people have heard of usury? Not many. And I bet you, seriously, I mean, obviously, our jolly educated chaps in chat, they'll know about usury. So there we go. And chapesses as well. Aunt Sally says, hi, folks. I'm rather late tonight. Just got home. Right. You'll need to go to Miles this week, and you're going to get a big spanking for that, being late.
Well, is this Aunt Sally who gets the spanking, or is it you?
She won't go to Miles now. Yes, we can't have this being late, Yes, so you got to say, I think Miles is going to give you a good spanking now. By the way, Mike Manchester says, "How's the bathwater, Sally?" So yes, we need to know that. What we got here? Now, our society is completely socially engineered, and television, screen, and music has done a good job. Yes, I agree. I agree with you.
Well, I was thinking about that. I was
Now,
watching one of Mark Devlin's videos, and he was on about the music industry and how certain subjects came up. So, ABBA, a lot of their songs were about up and as in breaking up the
they
relationships
are.
and so on. When you think about the subjects that they bring up or they sing about, not just ABBA, but at certain times in the certain periods, they cover certain normal. So breaking, one of the songs is breaking up is very easy, which is to do with breaking up of
Mm.
presumably of marriage and things like that. And was that the start of the process of people not wanting to get married anymore?
That you got a good point there, because actually their last album was the best one, and that's when they all broke up, wasn't it? I think it was no, hang on, what was their last album?
Yeah.
But I really do think that was ABBA's best, the ultimate. I don't think they could do better than that. I've got it actually. It's bloody brilliant as well. Alice Gorgeous saying about her ex says, no
I
booze,
won't tell anybody you've got
just
that.
a nasty bully. No, keep it quiet. Well, I've actually got a criminal record. It's by Rolf Harris. It's criminal to have that bloody
Oh,
record.
by the police.
No, I haven't got a criminal record by the police. No, no booze, just a nasty bully, a broken man. I couldn't love him better. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? I'm sorry to that. It was probably something to do with his childhood. You never know. Now, I would, this is a classic. This one is, it's Robert again. I would decree makeup mandatory for some people. Yeah, when you got time, mate, you can come on the show. You're always welcome on. He used to be a regular on the show. So there we are. Um, uh, Now, what's this now? Let's have a look here. I can't read this one out. It's about Elton John. I'll just put it on the screen. Uh,
Yeah,
Now
that
let's
was
go
about,
down here,
yeah, that was my joke.
and what we got here. No, it says here, this is Mark Anthony. I think you might have posted it, Mark. Was it you that posted it? I don't know. That video of the copper opening up the time capsule is not AI. Oh, I'm wrong. Sorry about that. It's actually from a comedy sketch show on BBC Scotland from about 5 years ago. I didn't realise that. Well, well, well. It's well worth watching it, though. And I didn't realise. Uh, um, Now,
Did you ever,
again,
you used to watch, was it Hale and Pace? And they did a sketch
yeah.
where there was two coppers. They pulled this bloke over for drink driving, and the one copper's partner's really 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 ugly, and he goes up. He says he said I've got a quick question for you. He said, would you date my partner? And he says, oh He says, arrest him. He's nicked. He's obviously pissed.
They were good. You never see them now. But yeah, and Robert
No,
again,
they
it can be explained as a kosher moon. So there we go. And we got here.
Tortoise Conquers. Do you remember that one? That sketch.
That's right. What's that? Yes, I
Hale and
remember that
Pace,
one.
Tortoise Conquers.
Oh, I always remember. Was it the guy's
The last
cat?
sketch is yeah, the guy. Yeah. Well, the tortoise one. They've got the fox hunters at the end, and he says we give the tortoise at least 30 minutes head start. The tortoise is only about 2 yards down the road. Absolute classic.
By the way, also he said, I accept a good spanking for my tardiness. Yeah, don't say what day or time you're going to the miles, because there'll be a bleeding great queue of blokes swinging around the corner. Hey, this is a good idea to get more business in for miles. We cracked it. That's what we should do. There we go. Right.
What, spanking on Sally?
Yes, that's right. Next. I never liked ABBA. I can't say I've ever eaten them. I think they sucked. Oh, I kind of liked ABBA. Yes, yes.
I always thought they were just in it for the money, to be honest.
Well, they actually got more money to Sweden than was it what's their cars? Volvo did, I think. But there's something about Swedish design that always gets me. It's like IKEA. It's either extremely good, extremely bad, but nothing in the middle. It's either crap or it's good. Hello. Something about the Swedish.
Did you see that on the news
mentality.
the other day? That apparently the CEO of IKEA has now become the president of Sweden. Apparently, he's off building his.
Really? Oh,
That was a
I
wasted
like that
effort,
one.
wasn't it?
But Matilda. Oh, build this cabinet. But well, Matilda says my ex-mother-in-law described my daughter as beautiful and followed it up with, "Isn't it strange how ugly people have beautiful babies?" Yes, ex-mother-in-law. I can see that, Matilda. Yes, yeah. But well, you remember the Christine Keeler case? Anybody remember the Christine Keeler case? No, they wouldn't have remembered it, rather, but there was the film about it. It was in the early 60s. I don't remember, I was too young. That's showing my age there. And Christine Keeler, who had an affair with an MP and was supposed to be giving, and she also had an affair with a Russian bloke, a senior officer, and could have been giving secrets away, you see, to the Russian. And she went to the gynecologist with a splinter in a rather embarrassing place. And the gynecologist looked there and he said, that ain't a splinter, that's half the cabinet. So it's a terrible one. Anyway, I don't know about you, but I think we need to hit the hay, as they say. And it just leaves me to say thanks for coming on. You've really made the show. Thanks, Paul. It's much appreciated.
Thanks.
Please,
Thank you for the invite.
please tune. Well, it's a pleasure. And please tune in to Paul English, who's on at 8 o'clock on Food for Thought Radio and Rumble and YouTube, 8 o'clock on Thursdays. And thank you, everyone, for in chat. And also, please shove your old thumb up, or even a young thumb. Shove your thumbs up and consider subscribing. It doesn't cost anything. And if you're feeling generous, there's always the buy me a copy, And whatever happens, have a bloody good laugh and good night.